Hey everybody, hope you're doing good. You're going to want to watch this video. There's some things in it that we've been talking about for a long time and big news. So check it out. So first and foremost, I hope everybody is staying healthy and staying safe and being cautious, but not being panicky. Um, Doing what you're supposed to do without doing anything more than you should be doing. No panic buying or anything like that. So I have to bring this to everybody's attention because if you've watched me for any amount of time, you know that I have kind of been saying that this was coming for a long time, and it looks at least the beginnings of it are finally here. Saw two stories pop up in the last 24 hours, and of course, it's a function for what's going on in the world with the COVID virus and the effect it's had on the stock market and just kind of the economy in general. But it's a little bit more than that. It has sort of exposed the true color, in my opinion, of one of the biggest iBuyer companies out there, Opendoor. So let me just read kind of just the headlines of the stories I'm talking about, and then sort of give you my take on it and what I think this is going to mean, kind of going forward into to some of the folks out there. So check it out. The first story I found, and again, this is from the website Inman. They are a huge aggregator of real estate news, market news, and that sort of thing. So there's a little thing right now called Redfin now. Now, I haven't talked about that much. Redfin is a real estate. They're kind of like a nationwide brokerage. That would be fair to call them. They're a little bit different. They want to be like Zillow and Trulia, but they actually call themselves an actual brokerage. It's kind of complicated, and it doesn't really matter as far as the purposes of this video goes. But they had a program, like all these national huge companies do, called Redfin Now. And basically that was their iBuyer component that they added to the company. Don't list your house and wait for it to sell for market value. Sell it to us now. And, whatever discounts and service fees, just like all the other iBuyers. But anyway, well, they were the first ones to come out and say, and it makes sense because they were one of the first or one of the newest ones. It says Redfin now temporarily suspends home buying amid market slump. Now, be careful when you read this and know what they're talking about here. When they say market slump, they're not talking about home market slump. They're talking about stock market slump. Okay? Because so many of the funds for these iBuyer companies, they're not coming from traditional home buying sources. They're coming from investment funds, hedge funds, foreign investment funds, that sort of thing. So it says market slump, stock market slump. Okay. So anyway, the subline here is Redfin Now, the direct-to-consumer home buying and selling platform, will not be buying homes for the near future. CEO Glenn Kelman confirmed in a letter to shareholders. Basically, it goes on to say, because of stock market uncertainty and the source for a lot of their cash has sort of dried up. The market has gone down about 30% since this whole COVID thing started, and they're just not cash rich with their investor stakes anymore. So they're pulling out, and they can't afford to be in business. It's not surprising. That's not terribly surprising. What is a little surprising was the next story that came out, and I'm just going to sort of pull it up right here. And here we go. Opendoor temporarily suspends home buying, citing, this is hysterical, safety concerns. Right. Okay. So, come on, man. Opendoor temporarily suspends home buying, citing Safety concerns. You've got to be kidding me. It says a spokesperson for the iBuyer said the company's priority is the safety and well-being of our customers, employees, and the general public. This is the biggest load of crap I've ever seen. Okay, now, two things on this. The true thing is, yes, Opendoor is no longer buying homes. They've stopped. The second thing is, if you believe that they're not buying homes right now for safety reasons, I've got a bridge in China to sell you, okay? They're not buying homes right now because all their investment funds have dried up or have crashed in value. All of the foreign investors, all of the hedge fund managers, everybody that was pouring money into Opendoor has said, stop. We're not doing any of that because we don't know what's happening. We're not taking on all of this portfolio of homes if we don't know if we're going to be able to unload them for a profit. It doesn't matter that we're paying, anywhere between 8 to 20% less than market value and then tacking on a 7 or 8% fee on top of that. That's still not enough of a discount to make sure that our investment's going to be protected when we go to unload them. Now, here's what's funny, and here's how we kind of knew this was coming. In the last month or so, agents and brokers in the field, like me, like my colleagues, when we would see Opendoor properties pop up for sale, the ones that they've already bought, done their little polish to, and then put back on the market for actual market value, not for what they bought them for, we've noticed that the commissions they were offering on the selling commissions were considerably lower than before, which told you right there that their margins had started to get pinched, which that should have been the last thing we would have seen because they build so much profit into these deals for themselves because of what they offer people for the homes in the first place and how many fees they charge. The last thing you should have seen was the commissions offered to the agents who were bringing buyers to the home once they hit the market. But when we saw that started to happen, probably I would say around mid to late February, so about a month ago, that told us something was up. And now seeing this, it makes everything come into focus. We now know just how bad off they had started to hurt because of all the cash or those with cash who had been pouring it into their system. They've gone away because the stock market has dropped 30%. The other thing, I know I sound really gleeful when I'm talking about this, and I will admit, yes, there's a part of me who's very happy that Opendoor is now getting a little bit of a comeuppance because if you know anything about what I've been putting out in the universe for a year and a half, I honestly feel that this company and companies like it have been ripping people off to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars ever since they came into existence. So I'm not going to feel bad for feeling good that a company like this, which I think is a predatory company, is now falling on hard times. I'm not going to feel bad about that at all. What I am going to feel bad about is right now, and this is happening to people in my office, people in my company right now, have clients who had their home under contract with Opendoor. The contract was sealed, delivered, ready to close. They had gone and put a contract on another property, ready to buy it, based on the promise of their home being sold to Opendoor. Opendoor has now canceled all of those contracts. There was one that was set to close today, and they got the cancellation notice yesterday. Honestly, I think about the exact same time that they came out with this public announcement that they were no longer buying. So yeah, they canceled the contract the day before the closing. And of course, their agent started to scramble, as any good agent would do, and said, you can't pull out a day before the closing. You're at the very least, you're going to lose the earnest money and all this. And wouldn't you know it, in the Opendoor, corporate legal team, way back when these contracts were first developed, there was a clause in the contract on one of the pages and one of the fine prints that says, Basically, for whatever reason, Opendoor can pull out anytime they want to. Now, the question of having the earnest money or not, I think is still an open one. But even so, I mean, so what? You're getting a little bit of earnest money in lieu of your house selling 24 hours before, which means you're probably losing the earnest money that you had down on the house that you were buying anyway. So at best case scenario, that's like a wash. Okay, so not only has Opendoor been screwing people ever since they came onto the scene by lying to them and advertising a fair market price when it never was, advertising fair fees and commissions when they never were. Now they've stopped that at the very first sign of trouble in the market. They've stopped. And not only that, they're not making good on their promises and commitments to the people that they already had under contract that were counting on and planning on those contracts going through. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover about these two stories. Is that's where we are right now. I wanted to bring it to light because it deserves to be brought to light. I feel like maybe this is one of the last videos about this company and companies like this I'll ever have to do. I sure as heck hope so, because it has really hurt, in my opinion, a lot of people. So I got one more thing I want to tell you about, and I will tell you about that after this quick break. Hey, thanks for keeping your eyes on me for another couple of minutes here. I wanted to do one quick thing, and that is a featured property this week. It's a brand new property that came to the market this week. It's in a hot area. It's a great price, and it's a great house. And it's a listing that I've gotten permission to share with you here from Cry-like Realtors. And I want you to take a look. I'll put the address in the description of this video so you can find it after it's over. But I wanted to show it to you real quick so you can kind of get a feel for it, the address. And let me know. Let me know this weekend if you'd like to go out and take a look. Or even if you can't get out because of the COVID virus scare, if you're nervous about getting out, remember in a previous video I told you, I will do any virtual showing that you would like for me to do. So if you want to see the inside, have it kind of be walked through it, but you don't want to be out yourself, that's fine. Just let me know. And with the miracle of modern technology, I can take you along with me virtually as I walk through the house. You can just kind of tune in and check it out. All right. So the address is 88 Westmead Place in Acworth. That's in Bentwater. And I know a lot of you know that area and that neighborhood specifically. The purchase price is $310,000, which is a great price for this, especially when you see it and see what it has to offer. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It's on a full finished basement, so you really got to check that out. Real quick, I'll just thumb through some of the pictures here. See, it's a beautiful house, beautiful landscaping. The interior is great. It's very spacious. What I really love, you'll get to see in a second. First, this kitchen. I love this kitchen. It's open and big enough to have a breakfast area, and then you've got sort of the bay window there with the window seat. I really like those. Love that backsplash. And what I really like, well, here we go. The master, great size. I had forgotten about that actually until I'm going through the pictures here. All the rooms are really good size, but what really sells me on it is this area right here, the finished basement. That is really cool. You don't often see in basements that get finished actual finished ceilings like this. So it's not like a drop ceiling or anything. That's actually drywalled framed ceiling with the can lights, and they've got the sort of like the tray ceiling and the cutout ceiling in it. Really cool. And you see it's got the built-in entertainment center there as you come down the stairs. That's just a really cool area. I really like that a lot. Backyard, good sized backyard if you know the neighborhood. The lots aren't small, but they're not necessarily as big as some of the older neighborhoods in the area. This is a 1/4 acre lot. So you're getting a pretty good bit of yard as well. You see swing set, play set, good sized back deck. and then just some of the neighborhood features there. So yeah, so really excited about that listing, and I wanted to get it out there for you. Like I said, just because of the area, the neighborhood, the price. So check it out. It's 88 Westmead Place in Acworth. And again, that address will be in the description of the video. You can put that in any search site you want. You know how I feel about Zillow and Trulia. You can use those if you want. I don't like them. My go-to is either my site, thelocalrex.com, or realtor.com, which uses the same engine as my website. Those pull directly in real time from the MLS. That's why they're the most accurate. So anyway, everybody have a great rest of your day. Continue to stay safe and germ-free and enjoy as much as you can all this extra family time that we're getting. I'm sure by the end of this, we'll be very thankful that we've had it, right? Yes. Okay. Everybody, take care. I'll talk to you soon. And as you know, always, for any real estate needs you have, any question, anything I can do whatsoever, just give me a call or a text or an email or a smoke signal. I'm that close by. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you soon.